Hi everybody, this is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hut. Welcome back to the Football Hut. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. I talked about this in different ways. You see a losing team, you watch a losing team on the field, inside the lines, and then you see them losing outside the lines, okay? And that's what we have with Cam Skattebo, who's a rookie running back with the Giants. He's on the injured list because he severely hurt his ankle a few weeks ago, and he's out for the season. And he showed up at WWE event at Madison Square Garden, dressed in a Rangers jersey. But he's a young man that has energized the fan base on the field. People are very excited to watch him play. He's very exciting to play. He's tough on the field. But you could tell that on the field that he was due to get an injury very quickly because he's somewhat reckless. Now, he's been criticized because he went to this event at the Garden. And I'm going to read you what happened. I am not happy with this situation. Because we don't want to see these young players getting hurt and putting themselves in bad position. And of course, he wasn't the only rookie there. Abdul Carter was there as well. And Carter has had a terrible season, his first rookie season. He showed up too. Now, this situation is very strange because the Giants are a bad team. They fired their coach last week. They probably should fire the general manager. They need to bring in a coach that's going to command the room. A lot of people talking about Mike McCarthy, the former head coach of the Cowboys and the Packers. He's won a Super Bowl, and he will command respect in the room. Mike Kafka's not doing that. Joe Shane's not doing that as a general manager. This is very much becoming like a circus. And it's exhausting to see this. And I saw this. Well, let's get into it. A headline from Off Announcing: Cam Skattebo faces backlash for taking part in WWE brawl while injured. You just had a devastating injury and you're on your feet pushing professional wrestlers. Like, it's so Jetsian. I don't know about that, but this is very, it's just not what the Giants do. Cam Skattebo had a front row seat for John Cena's final episode of WWE Raw. Not only that, but the New York Giants rookie running back took part in a mid-show brawl, which was especially curious considering that he's less than a month removed from suffering a season-ending open tibia fracture, ruptured deltoid ligament, and ankle dislocation. So this was a bad injury that he has. And obviously it's not healed. Okay, it's not healed. Because he was at camp last week, and they showed him with a little cart, walking around his knee up. So he can't even put any weight into his knee, on his foot, excuse me. The segment in question occurred following the opening match at Madison Square Garden, which Cena, Rey Mysterio, and Sheamus defeated the Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and JD McDonald. After the match, reporter Jackie Redmond interviewed comedian Andrew Schultz. Naturally, he proceeded to introduce a real New York legend to be, and Skattebo, who he was sitting next to. Let's calm down. This is a wannabe. Okay, he played 5 games with the Giants, and then he got hurt. So that is concerning. This is not the stuff we used to see with the George Young Giants. This isn't what we saw with Bill Parcells, Tom Coughlin. And you weren't going to see this back in the day. I don't think Eli Manning or Michael Strahan would like this whole hell of a lot, especially from a rookie. As the interview returned to Schultz, it was quickly interrupted by Dominic Mysterio, who's currently one of WWE's top heels. After Mysterio asked Skattebo how many years it's been since New York's last championship, whether or not the former Arizona State star could count, a shoving match between the Judgment Day and ringside celebrities broke out, with Skattebo squarely in the middle of it. That is a big problem, because you don't want to see him get hurt again. I mean, if he got pushed back, could hurt, broke his ankle. He didn't break his ankle, but he did a lot of damage to that leg. It's not good. This is not a good situation. Very bad situation at this point in time. While pro wrestling's outcomes are predetermined, the physicality is very much real. And a trained performance can suffer legitimate injuries during scripted matches. It's fair to wonder why an untrained running back was involved in such a segment just weeks after suffering a catastrophic injury. And this was a bad injury he had. That was certainly the sentiment that echoed across New York on Tuesday morning. Unsurprisingly, many in the Big Apple were unhappy to see the Giants' rookie running back in a shoving exchange with a group of pro wrestlers considering his current physical status. Quote, "You got one good leg, bro," Chris McMonagle said on WFAN on Tuesday morning. "I don't want to get on Cam Skattebo. I don't want to get on Abdul Carter for wanting to have fun and going to a WWE event and having a good time and being part of the storyline. It's one of these things, you're a young kid and you just become an NFL player. You get asked to do things, you're probably a wrestling fan, it's fun, but like you just had a devastating injury and you're on your feet pushing professional wrestlers. Like, this is so Jetsonian. The optics are so bad. It's just stupid. It's just stupid." WFAN's Daniel McCartan also noted that Giants legend Michael Strahan took issue with Skattebo's stunt during Tuesday morning's episode of Good Morning America. Now, I haven't read this article, but Strahan would have had a major problem with it. I was right. You know, you don't do this kind of stuff, especially if you're a rookie. If you're a player that's a great player and you want to go do this and get into it, and at the middle or the end of your career, that's one thing. He's at the beginning of his career and he's dealing with a bad injury. It's stupid. This is part of what Strahan said. "I was supposed to go yesterday, but I'm glad I didn't because I would have fought Skattebo for fighting on a broken ankle. What are you doing, man? We need you to play football. Don't hurt yourself doing that." And that was real enough. And that's the problem with this particular player. Let me finish up. Do a quick Google search for Cam Skattebo's name, and you'll find the 23-year-old's already a New York tabloid darling. While most of the coverage throughout his rookie season has been positive, clearly wasn't the case with regard to his WWE cameo. Now, during the week, I guess he was doing a live stream. I don't know if he was a guest on a show, but he kind of revealed like an injury he has to his shoulder. He comes across to me as immature outside the lines. He's very reckless in the lines, and he's probably reckless outside the lines. He comes across as a very odd character to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. You never know. But he comes across as very strange to me. The way he acts, the way he's headbutting everybody. He needs a real reality check. He could have gotten extremely injured last night, on Monday night. And this bears watching. But also, it also says a lot about the Giants organization right now. Says a lot about the Giants organization right now that they're allowing players to do this kind of stuff, especially when they're injured, okay? And especially rookie players, and he wasn't the only rookie player there. Carter was also there. And Carter was a big prospect and a big draft pick this past year. He was number 3 prospect, number 3 draft pick in the NFL draft this past year. So that is a major problem when you have these young guys pushing and shoving wrestlers. These wrestlers, like the article says, these guys are trained to take falls. They're trained to take hits, and they still get hurt bad. Cam Skattebo is not that kind of an athlete. Okay, he's a football player. He may think he's tough, but he's not like that. You know, wrestlers are much tougher than football players, to be honest with you. They take a lot of punishment. They take a lot of risks. This is not a risk if you're a Giants executive you want to see one of your young players taking. Specifically when you have big hopes for him and you have big hopes for this team going forward after this year. Because I would hope that next year's team will be in much better shape with a new coach, a serious coach, hopefully a serious general manager. The Giants have to find themselves a serious veteran executive that knows how to win and builds a team, and you bring in a veteran coach. The thing the Giants have been doing again and again and again is bringing in guys that have zero experience in the front office and zero experience on the field as a head coach. This situation, because they don't have a regular coach, plus the GM is a disaster, the team is in disarray, That's why this was allowed to happen. You want to go to the event, fine, but you can't participate. You can't be part of any kind of action. If you do that, you can get fined. Simple as that. Well, you let me know what you think about this video, and of course, please subscribe to the Football Hut, and I'll see you later.